Hello and welcome to another episode of No Load Time. My name is Hobart Velez, and with me, back from the dead, Mr. Joel Young.
I live.
He
Woo!
lives.
Everyone, thank you so much for hanging tight with us last week. A lot of things going on, and this week a lot going on as well. We had to skip last week, last minute, but we're back, and we're still covering a lot of the news that we had from last week. Plus, of course, some more stuff. It's gonna be a it's gonna be a good one tonight. As you see the title, we told you so. There's a
We
trend.
we
But
told
Obed, how you doing, man?
yeah. There's a trend. I'm doing well, man. I'm more concerned about you because last week, last minute, we had to cancel due to an unforeseen injury. I'm glad
Yeah.
you're doing well though.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I saw you the next day and you seemed okay, but I know that
Yes.
that thing, those things take a little bit, time to settle and,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm glad you're doing better, man. No much
No,
on my end, dude.
100%. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it, dude. Yeah, man, nothing much, man. It's been a couple weeks for sure. We've been very, very busy. I haven't really had a lot of time to do stuff outside of work, to be honest with you. The over the weekend, last weekend, still playing Shinobi, still playing It Takes Two, still enjoying those. More than likely, I will get Ghost of Yote when I finish one of them, and then we'll go from there. I got a backlog. I got other stuff that I wanted to play. Uh, Marvel, it's coming out, and Togon's coming out, and Resident Evil 9's coming out. There's stuff. It's a lot, bro. There's shows that I gotta watch because I didn't watch any of that because of the book. By the way, all the time, the moments in video games that shaped who I am, available on Amazon. Please go ahead and check it out. If you have Kindle, what was it, Kindle Direct or whatever it's called, the subscription is free to read right now. So if you have Kindle Direct, go ahead and check it out. And if not, just buy the paperback. I appreciate it. But putting that out there. And yeah, man, trying to work that out too, like trying to figure out some marketing plan. I have a couple of copies coming in, hopefully tomorrow, and that way I can start full on marketing the. It's official, like out there. People have bought it. I have signed copies. and yeah, hopefully it does well. So it's if you guys want to check it out, it's on the link should be on the description for the video. Please check it out. But yeah, other than that, man, enjoying the time that I have for myself. Planning, we've been doing a lot of planning for our trip to Epic Universe, changing dates, checking weather. Their prices for Express is insane, Joe. I don't know if you checked that out.
Really? No.
So
Uh,
Express passes for Epic Universe right now are $269 per person on top of your park ticket.
Whoa.
Yeah, on top of your park ticket. So that's not going to be an option because we were
Yeah.
willing to go ahead and do it if it was the 140 or 150, but 260, bro,
It's
269,
crazy.
too much. But that's gonna happen here in a few weeks. More than likely mid-November, I'll be going. I'm hoping to get video and pictures and all that good stuff. If I get video, I'll definitely post it on the channel. Even if it's a little quick tour of Super Nintendo World. I wanna record my reaction walking in, just to
Yeah,
just
especially
to
Mario.
just to
Yeah.
have that right.
Nintendo.
Yeah, so planning that. So that's happening soon. That which I'm just talking with my wife and my daughter and just trying to figure out a proper date. Tickets are available for the dates that we're looking at, and if you guys have tips, t- I will appreciate them. But no, I'm a seasoned theme park veteran, retired, and but just going back and doing the planning, like a first time going to a theme park is it's a lot of fun. So planning that out and hopefully weather is gonna be good. All the weather's been like phenomenal this last couple of weeks. It's been great. Can't complain. But yeah, man, it's been good. It's been a minute since I've done anything new, but we're getting there. It's consistent, and then the holidays are coming up, and then we talked about more likely streaming Marvel Cosmic Invasion
Yeah.
in December when it comes out. So I think it comes out December 1st. So whenever that comes out, we stay tuned. We will play that
Yeah.
for. It's gonna be our Christmas end of year stream.
Yeah.
It could be
Our last big one.
it could be an extended stream. So who knows? Or it could be like a
Right.
2-day thing. Hey, you know what? Go marathon it. Let's go play through the whole thing. But yeah, man, that's basically me for the last couple of weeks, dude. It's been good, but it's been busy, and then I've been trying to sleep a lot. That helps.
Get
Yeah,
where you can.
yeah,
the rest of
no,
the
for sure, dude. How about you, man? Anything new?
Yeah, well, I mean, I can make it a little bit of a transition thing because it's something we talked about last week, but or had on the docket for last week, and then it kind of worked out because I ended up seeing it. But the one main thing I got to do between all the busyness is I saw a movie called Tron Ares.
Have it on the
That
docket.
seems to be very. Yeah, I saw on the docket. So I'm
Yeah.
like, let me go ahead and I guess leave as a transition item there. But um, yeah, so I'm just gonna tell you guys just my feelings about the movie as a whole, and this is not me trying to play the middle or anything like that. This is just truly like how I feel. I never thought, and please, like this is just a pure honest opinion. Like you're entitled to your own opinion. Like I want to be very clear about that. But I never thought that any of the Tron movies that I've ever seen were that good. To be completely honest with you, I think that
That's
they
fine.
like
That's
there's
fine.
like I think they're like there's like some fun concepts in them. Like I love science fiction. I love some of the space items, but not space. Sorry, the just the computer elements
Yeah,
mixing in. It's a
cyberspace
very creative.
thing. Yeah.
Right, the cyberspace setting and all. Like I love that. Right,
Right.
like I think that's very cool. I like the aesthetic of the movies. It's cool, but just in general, like at its core, I never thought they were like that great. Um, so this one to me was very on brand with Tron Legacy that came up before. And there might be some people who feel very differently, like, no, Tron Legacy was better or this or whatever. But honestly, I felt like it was very on brand with it. You're in 2025. We've got better, you know, graphical elements and just some really great visuals that are going on. I think this movie is absolutely just visually beautiful. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I think the soundtrack behind it is absolutely phenomenal. Like
Right.
that's one of the best elements of the movie. Um, and I know that was controversial because I know the one before had I'll say it was Daft
It was
Punk I
Daft
think that
Punk.
did
Yeah.
most of the music or for that one. Obviously this one being Nine Inch Nails. Like still absolutely slaps. And I mean the movie theater when I got to see it I saw it in Dolby. So let me tell you that it was bumping. Like the music was great. You could really hear it really well. They didn't turn down a notch at all. But as for the story, like it's the same way I felt about like Legacy. Like it's okay. It's very mid. I've seen worse. I think the actors involved clearly just didn't have a good script, so that I wouldn't blame them as much to be honest with like the portrayal. I felt like they did the best they could with the scripts that they were given, kind of thing. Um, and just overall, like I, it's similar to how I feel about the Avatar films. Like the Avatar films are very experiential films. Like if you're gonna watch that, you need to watch that in a movie theater. You try and watch that at home, you're gonna take a nap, you're gonna watch it in half, and it's just not gonna be the same. Like it's cool, and I'm not saying you can't enjoy it, but like you go watch that in the movies and you have like the 3D glasses up and you're like, whoa, this is
That's
like
the
stunning to
experience.
take
Yeah.
in, and it really immerses you.
Right.
Its movies are built for that. And then you watch it at home and it's okay. It's the same thing with this one. Like you watch this thing at home, you're not gonna have a very good time. it's gonna probably be even worse than. But you go and watch this in the movie theater. There are people who are gonna say like, "Oh, I actually liked this movie," and there are people who are gonna like the movie watching in the movie theater, and then they're gonna watch it again at home and be like, I didn't like it as much as I did the first time I saw it. Like, there's some people who are like avidly defending this movie. I would challenge them. In a month, it's out of the theaters. When it's on, pay-per-view, demand, whatever you want to call it, like go rent it and see if you feel the exact same about it. Because I don't think you will. Even with an incredible home theater setup, like you could have like the great sound bar and a wonderful TV and whatever. Like it's not going to be the same. I'm telling you right now. So yeah, that's my honest review. I think the movie, you have to look at it from a more technical standpoint because that's what the movie is. And what's really incredible now is like with how bad this is, Disney's already saying like, or at least like
Yeah.
sources from like Wall Street Journal and stuff are saying like, we're not going to have, another Tron movie for the foreseeable future. Like if they do one, it's probably not going to be until like 10 years from now again, or maybe later. And there's no, like, why would they make it if they know that the last few have not made money? So, it's just the nature of the beast. And it's incredible because when you think about it, Obed, they built this huge Tron ride at Magic Kingdom, and nobody wants to see this movie. I understand that in Shanghai, quite popular, but in the States, not as popular as maybe as it is in
It's a
Shanghai.
popular ride, but
Um,
I don't think the IP. That's
yeah,
I don't think Tron as an IP. That's
it doesn't sell.
I
It doesn't
it's
sell,
so it
man.
was neat. It was neat to begin with, right? But back in the day, and then I know that Legacy made it mainstream since video games and all this geeky
Yeah.
stuff is now mainstream, right? Um, I mean I haven't watched Ares, so I have no opinions. The I just don't think that Disney should be investing in this like mid tier to lower tier IPs. I would rather them actually come up with something new and different. And at this point, Disney has become such a regurgitation machine almost of like
Yeah.
their old stuff. And it's unfortunate, right? Because at some point, there was, really big creative spark in the company. Could you imagine if like we go back and we do a black hole ride, or bring back the black
Yeah.
hole, right? Which is like a controversial movie in itself, right? Because it's it has some, I guess, quasi religious overtones to it. If you've ever watched that
Sure.
movie, I
Yeah.
watched that movie, when I was a kid. I haven't watched that movie in 35, 40 years, probably. I don't know, 35 years. Um, it's been a very long time, but I remember the movie well enough, and never. Yeah, it was charming because of the visuals, and it was innovative. It was the same as Tron, right? It's like, it was like this innovative sort of storytelling and visual experience that we're having, but it's like what like why are they so afraid to do new stuff, man? It's like if it's not a remake, it's a reboot or a
Well,
live action adaptation, and or a ride adaptation, and that's what we could expect. And then when we go to Pixar, like again, same thing. Like that creative spark, it's not there, and like their storytelling,
yeah.
it's kind of like mid tier now. So I really don't know what's going on, bro.
I mean, you look at a lot of the new attempts, like Disney trying to make some new stories, them particularly, and they have flopped pretty terribly.
It's because
Like
of
it's
focus grouping, man,
I yeah,
and
like
and
they're struggling as a whole. It's like whether it's regurgitating a new IP, like an IP that you're like, this will be the safe bet.
yeah,
We put this one out, we'll make money.
I,
And we're seeing the box office numbers. We're reporting it number after number. Like this is not us giving an opinion.
no.
People are not going out to spend their money behind it. That's interesting. But then, you know, if they do the same thing with something new, we're seeing the same effect too. So
Yeah.
across the industry, it's the numbers and the ones that are actually succeeding. like, why is Minecraft making like the money that it's making? Well, because it's an IP that people. Well, you could say the same about some of these other films that should have those same
And
results,
that's
and they're not.
and that's what I keep like. They're the episode today's I told you so.
Yeah.
And it was because of course we're going to talk about Xbox, but I think the same thing could be applied to Disney because how long have I been saying, dude? It's like I think since we started the podcast, right? We're going into 9 years now next year. Why is Disney so afraid of looking for IPs outside of their own? Why are they in this
Right.
bubble that everything needs to be something that we did before or something that, or a sequel, either a sequel or a reboot to something that we already have?
Right.
And they missed the opportunity with Sonic because like it's out there that they shopped Sonic with Disney and Disney said no. Like, and then we see this crazy out of nowhere hits like K-pop Demon Hunters, right? Like biggest movie of the summer, the biggest song of the year. And these are movies that more than likely were shopped at Disney. Like Disney, like there's
for sure.
Like I heard like that movie was shopped at Sony. Sony said no. More than likely, if it was shopped at Sony, they shopped it at Disney, and Disney probably said no.
Yeah.
And why are they so afraid to go outside of their properties, right? I think straight up, the last time they did something new that was a hit was Wreck-It Ralph. And Wreck-It Ralph had the backing, and I'm not including Marvel and Star Wars, right? I'm talking about Disney specifically, Disney/Pixar. Wreck-It Ralph had third-party IPs integrated to the movie. The movie was a success. The sequel was more Disneyfied and didn't have the same amount of success. See, again, we go back to why are they so afraid? Like, there's other stuff out there, there's other properties out there that they could either license or partner with, but no, I don't know, dude. Like it's like excuse me, I don't want to say it, but like it's like honestly, the bureaucracy has really killed that company. I don't think it's necessarily Bob. I think it's just that things are just not getting to Bob because of bureaucracy. Like things are getting stuck in like writing limbo and concept and in the concept phase and things are just not moving forward because they go to a focus group says no, Bob's not gonna ever know about it. and then nothing's gonna get done. And I think that's what's happening at Disney right now. Things are getting conceptualized and they're not moving forward because they're either getting a focus group or they get stuck on an executive that doesn't like it, and then they just don't move forward. I think it's like Disney is ripe, dude, to like a complete reshuffle of how the creative process is working right now.
Did you see the reports? I think it was last week as well, around the successor to Bob being a duality, like a co-presidency.
Right. I sent you an article on it. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the Dana Walden and Josh Tomorrow, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. That could work.
Could.
Because you have someone handling the creative and someone handling the parks.
Yep.
Right. And then just not funneling everything through the same line. Although, I mean, right now they're not doing that, right? But then everything gets to Bob at some point. And like things gotta move. Like things are getting stuck and things are not getting done, right? Like who, again, like who, man, it's things that I keep going back to freaking Epcot, but. I stumbled upon a video from like a Disney video. It's like, come to Disney World. Like it was like back from like 93 or something, 92. And I was watching the video with my daughter. It's like, Where's all this cool stuff? I was like, I know, I know, dude. I don't know. it, and I keep going back to Epcot. It's like it's there, right? And there's nothing. Like you walk in, Spaceship Earth is there, and then you walk into nothing, and then you go over to the rides. Follow your path. There's no dynamism. Everything is white, and it's like, you know what? And I came to that realization the other day that I started to become like that. It's like I like everything gray, and I have a black and white car, right? And like I came to the realization the other day, and I was like, man, I should try and get a little bit more whimsy in my life, and just
Creative.
buy an iPad cover and just sticker bomb it and do something fun. And it's just like, why am I worried about having like things look sterile? And I came to that realization myself, man. And I'm at that point in my life where I'm very flexible to making positive changes, right? Especially if it's for my mental well-being. So, why not? And I think that's what's missing at Disney right now. Like this, I blame Apple. I blame Apple because the Apple stores became so popular that everything wanted to be an Apple store, and now that everything is an Apple store, everything sucks. It's like that was their thing. Like that was the Apple thing. Let Apple do their thing. You keep doing your thing. You don't have to be Apple, right? And it's unfortunate. So we shall see, sir. But all right, Xbox. Let me play this one for you. Guys, come on. Like I gotta have a week without not talking about you guys. I had stuff in the docket for last week, and I have more stuff this week. So Joel, do you want an Xbox that doesn't play any Xbox games?
It's not an Xbox,
bro.
Sir.
I totally forgot that this thing's not an Xbox.
What's that thing? This is not an Xbox. This is an Xbox,
dude. And
back to their marketing
and
campaign.
I had to get reminded that little Billy is gonna ask for an Xbox Ally ROG and then get it, and had no games for it because he can't play his Xbox games on it. He has to buy brand new games or get Game Pass.
Poor little Billy, man.
Little Billy.
He's supposed to play games.
Little Billy, all he wants to do is play games, man. He doesn't need to, man. And then I was like, I was super intrigued about it, right? And I was one that I told you, it's like, man, I'm looking at it and I kind of want one because it looks good. And then I started watching review videos last week when the thing came out. And when you turn it on, you get Windows updates. I was like, I don't want this.
Oh no, you said it. You called that too.
I don't want this thing. No.
I want to get away from that life.
I do not, sir. Give me a Switch 2. I'm being honest with you, Joel, and it's like I would rather buy 2 Switch 2s than buy an Xbox Ally X. And I get it. I think it's a good device. I think it's a good device if you have if you're a PC gamer. That's basically what it is. If you're a PC gamer, this is a good device. If you are a casual gamer or a casual Xbox gamer, it's not for you. I don't want to finagle around with Windows updates. I don't want to have to deal with drivers, dude. Because could you imagine one of those bad Windows updates that it messes up your network drivers and you start blue screening? I mean, what are we gonna do, right? It is what it is. Yeah, man. IGN gave it a 9, like as for further review, and if you put your blinders on, I would give it a 9. I think it's a good device. I think the hardware's good. I think the specs are good. It's overpriced, but but I think the specs are for okay. Let me rephrase that. I think the X is the one to get. I don't know if like if you've watched videos of both, you would clearly see that the regular model is overpriced. Like you can get a Steam Deck that has better specs than that for less money. And but the X, sure, if you have the money and you're a PC gamer and you already have an established PC library, go for it. I don't. This is not for me, right? This device is not for me. If their hope was to bring new people in, I don't think that's going to necessarily work. I would, like I said, I would rather get a Switch 2. I would rather get two Switch 2s to get an Ally X. The regular one, I would not consider getting it, just because of the specs and the difference in price. And I don't know. It's just that again, I was like, where's Xbox's identity? Like, what are they like? Like, what's going on? Like you're selling this is an Xbox, but it doesn't play Xbox games, and I think for some reason, like, right, I knew that this was a Windows device, but in the back of my mind, I guess in my present state, I was thinking it's an Xbox, and I totally forgotten that this is a Windows device. And then when I saw, reviews and people turning it on and then getting Windows updates, I was like, oh no, this is a Windows device. That's right. You can't play Xbox games unless they're available on PC. And not every Xbox game is available on PC. Most of them are, but not all. But then you need Game Pass. And if you don't have Game Pass, you'd have to buy them. And if you bought them on Xbox, you don't get the PC version. So if you're an Xbox, like a straight up Xbox gamer, and you buy this device expecting this to be a portable Xbox, bro, you're gonna be really disappointed.
Yeah, the marketing behind it is what's tough. Like, how do you market a device like this? Because the fan expectation and the reality of what this actually is, it's not like it's like Xbox compatible, not an Xbox extension, like what it should have been. Like, it should have been like, this is another one of the Xbox properties where even if there was limited IP, like that'd be okay.
Right.
Like, I would be okay with that. Think like your PSP type thing or something where it's like, okay, it has its own library, but then it also has a few of these like cross between both or whatever. Maybe find a way to take down some of the specs behind it so it's more price wise better for a consumer. But they went for this really powerful thing that's clearly, like, I can't knock on the actual like device itself of how it's designed. I think it's good. It's good design. Do I think it's greatly designed? No, like you said, that's got the Windows the OS and things like that. They probably should have steered away from. But like in general, they did go for something that's a hefty machine. But how do you market it? I don't think there's a market for it. Well, I want to look like even just a month from now. We'll talk about it like as news stories come out.
Yeah.
But I think a month from now is going to be a really good, like, we start getting towards that holiday time where
Right.
people start buying these between like the Thanksgiving, Black Friday, going into Christmas time, where people are going to start purchasing it.
Yeah.
And that retroactive look at it is going to be like where the numbers are. Like, it could shock us. It could out of nowhere like overperform.
Right.
It's not, but it could. We talked about that with the Portal. Like, I had to eat my words, and I was like, I don't know why they did this. And then it's like, oh snap.
Yeah, but
Well, actually,
talking about
there's a market
a
for it in some
$200
place.
device versus a $1,000. It's
I mean, I thought a $200 streaming device was a crazy idea, because that's what it is. It's not
Yeah,
even like
yeah.
anything native.
Right.
It's a streaming device. I was like, that's absurd. I wouldn't pay $200 to do that. I could use my laptop. But this like actually natively plays stuff. And I'm even more saying I'd rather spend that $200 on a streaming device than this thing. Wow.
yeah.
I don't know how they market it. We'll find out.
Yeah, I think it's gonna, like, if you, again, it's not a device for the casual consumer. This is a hardcore gamer device that you're gonna have to finagle around with options and settings and all that. This is not. It could be potentially an out of the box experience, but it's
Right.
up to you to be able to optimize it. So, again, little Billy expecting that, his Xbox Series S games or, how is he going to play his collection of Madden games that he's bought throughout the years? He can't. So, I just think that they throw the marketing, the marketing was really obtuse for this device. Like they weren't out there, like, yeah, this is an Xbox. That they're calling it an Xbox, but and I understand. Okay, so I understand that I don't expect. I have a PS Vita. I didn't expect to buy a PS Vita and be able to play PS3 games on it, right? Because the PS Vita is a dedicated device. The same way, but that's not how this was marketed because everything is an Xbox. Then you get this device that is not an Xbox,
Not.
unless you have Game Pass, right? And that's oh man,
Conundrum.
it's very strange. So yeah, I mean, like you said, we'll see how it goes over the holidays. I don't think this thing is going to be crazy. I don't think many retailers are going to do the $1,000 model. I think like the Best Buy is the only retailer right now that's carrying it, and then it's like Xbox Direct and maybe GameStop. But I went to Target yesterday, sir, because there were rumors last week about Target getting rid of Xbox and not doing Xbox in the stores. And then I think Phil came out and said no, like they're a partner, and how this is not gonna happen. I went to Target yesterday. They had two Series X's and controllers, and that was it. No games, zero, no physical media at all for Xbox, none. Plenty of Switch stuff and plenty of which it's clearly moving because I go to the Switch section with my daughter often at Target, and
Sweet.
and there's stuff that's moved around. Like you can tell that there's moving stuff around. There's stuff that's sold out. Even on the PlayStation section, there's plenty of games. There's tons of stuff. I just don't. They're not moving. They're not moving consoles, man. Which is very scary when now, on top of that, there's the report that came out today saying that corporate is asking them to up their revenue to 30%, which is way above average for the industry. And I'm going to say this again, because I remember saying this back when stuff was happening. If Phil Spencer specifically, I'm talking about Phil. I'm dropping names. If Phil Spencer wouldn't have been as greedy as he was and gotten that awful deal with Activision, they would not be in this position. But they had to get greedy and they had to try and buy everything. And now they're suffering the consequences of their actions, right? Because nothing's free. Like Phil thought that, oh yeah, we got infinite money. Let's do all these things with the division, right? Let's like spend all this money buying all this stuff. And no one's going to say anything because, Microsoft, it's Microsoft, right?
Right.
But now it sounds like, hey, about that $100 billion you spent in 2 years, we kind of need that money back. Oh, but you got, $4 trillion. Is like, doesn't matter. We need that money back, right? And that's the position they're in right now. If I would have been Satya, I would have hired Phil already. Straight up. that was an abject failure on Phil Spencer's behalf. That dude has no right to continue to be the president of Xbox or whatever, the CEO of Xbox or whatever his title is. Because Sarabon's the president, he's not. He's CEO now, right? There's one thing that could save the division as it is right now. I think they're cooked. I think, like we said it, like they're cooked. Like we said it a couple weeks ago. We did an episode called Xbox is cooked. They're way past it. Like there's like the collector's knocking, right? It's like collector's knocking at the door, and they better pay up. And the only way that they can get out of it, right, is that if Microsoft spins Xbox into its own separate company, away from Microsoft. Like when you take Xbox and you make Xbox, and then not have it drain into Microsoft profits, and let Xbox handle itself. That would be the only way to save it right now.
Right.
And have them deal with whatever they want to deal with. They're going to have to walk back Game Pass, because Game Pass is another strategy that's infinite money. They're not going to care. We're going to spend all this money on Game Pass.
Right.
And, right. But they're going to have to either restructure, or they're going to get, or they're going to have to start closing studios. Like, and I'm talking about like Ninja Theory and, the Psychonaut studios, like Double Fine, or like all the smaller stuff. It's probably gonna go. Like, I think they're gonna, and then ultimately Xbox is just gonna be the Activision and probably Playground, and Bethesda, of course. Like, but I think they're done with like the small stuff. And they're now they're in the phase that's like, go big or go home kind of thing. And I don't think they have time to wait for their next indie darling to come out and sell, 1 million copies at $20 or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't have that luxury anymore. Time's ticking, dude. The clock's ticking. And man, what a failure of leadership from Phil, dude. Like, this is like disastrous. Like, I gotta say, dude, Don Matrick, he's an awful, awful businessman. But he was a businessman.
Yeah.
Right. And Phil, I just don't think he was the right person. How many presidents have PlayStation had since Phil took over? Ooh. Like Jack Tretton retired.
Yep.
And then we got John Codera, who was there for like 4 days. And then we had Jim Ryan, which was, an awful choice, dude. It's like when I said it from day one, dude. And it's like, hey, we sit here. Yeah, I'm not gonna be this. I'm a PlayStation guy, and I think that putting Jim Ryan as president of PlayStation was probably the worst choice Sony has made since the PS3. So, since the sub processor, and and we call it out as it is, and they've PlayStation been through a few presidents already, and Phil's still there, right? What's Phil doing? Canceling games. It's like canceling games and buying up studios to then cancel their games. Because that's what's been happening, dude.
Right.
That's what's been happening. It's like Phil gets to Xbox, Phil cancels games, Phil buys studios, Phil cancels the games for those studios. It's like, and then let's a few games from other studios come out. I just don't understand, dude. And then Sarabon had to come out and do like damage control for the price for the ROG Ally X, and dude, what's going on, dude? Take it.
No, I'm not gonna say too much more because I think we're both on the same page. Like when you look at the history line of what led to this profit margin loss, 30% is pretty. That's enough to say that this is why we keep saying every week after week, like there's absolutely talks right now about completely changing their plans for for whatever their next generation of console. Like I don't think they're stopping and saying, "Hey, we got to cancel. We got to cancel and there's not going to be a new Xbox." Like they're not I don't think they're doing that. They're not completely in the red at that point. But a 30% margin, you're getting close to the type of numbers where you're at such a loss that you have to actually even scale back. Most likely, they already have scaled back probably budget for even next gen, which means that like you're expected to put out a superior product with less money. So I'm looking at this from the long. Like we can look at the history. You did a great job of recapping how we got here. The Activision deal that went south, which didn't go south. Like they got it. They got the deal done, but it went south in the effects that we've seen behind the company, right, and behind the relationships with developers and exclusivity and the lack of it. Therefore, and then now we're looking at now just the discussion around the effects to me of the future, which is just their next generation of consoles jumping out. Like they they clearly didn't think that that was going to be an issue whenever they were in development on the handheld process, right? With the ROG Ally. Like when they were in that conversation, that was years ago. Clearly, that they started working on this project and had this partnership with Asus and stuff. Like there's something there that like they had a projection, they had numbers that were telling them it was going to be drastically different.
Yeah.
But now that we have, some data, and I think a month from now, like I'm saying, I really do think I don't, we'll have a better retroactive look
Yeah.
at what the pre-sales were or are, as well as just early sales. I just fully believe you're gonna get probably something similar to an Xbox Series S. Like you're gonna get something like that again. You're gonna
Well, that's
get
not what they
that.
said.
I know.
Because this week they
but
said that it's going to be a premium product at a premium price.
I'll believe it when I see it. I don't think it's gonna happen.
The thing is that they're like the deal with AMD is done. Like they gotta produce these consoles, right? They gotta produce a minimum amount of consoles, like based on the deal with AMD. And what's crazy is that there was rumors last week, too, that Xbox wanted to create their own handheld, and they told AMD it's like we need 10 million. That it's going to be a custom chip. We need 10 million of them. And no, sorry. They said it's going to be a custom chip, and AMD said, well, you gotta guarantee that you're going to buy 10 million of those chips. And Xbox said, no, we can't do that. And then it's like, well, we can't work with you. So then they went to Asus, and Asus said, it was like, okay, we'll brand it. We have this thing, we'll brand it, and we'll work out a branding partnership, right? And that's how that came about. And there's also rumors last week, which is crazy because the rumors came out early last week, and then we'll talk about another thing here soon in a few minutes. But rumors came out that AMD was not happy with Microsoft, that Microsoft was giving with the next gen, that Microsoft was letting them do all the work, and Microsoft was just sitting back and not, like the Xbox people were just sitting back and not working with AMD to create whatever this thing is, which could be disastrous, right?
Yeah.
And because you got to have that synergy between the chip maker, the hardware maker, the software, like it has to be cohesive. And like clearly that went out the window because they said that this is going to be a Windows device, whatever's next gen. So again, you're going to turn on your Xbox, it's going to start running Windows updates. Dude, do I want that in my living room? Heck no. Heck no, bro.
Trying to escape that.
Are
if
you
you
insane?
wanted that, you'll play with your custom built gaming PC and you'll live off that.
Dude,
but that's the whole
bro.
point of why we have a console on our couches. Or, you have people obviously have like their monitor setups and stuff like that. I'm not saying that, but you know what I'm saying. It's escaping the traditional, not traditional, I should say, but more of like next level gaming. Because obviously there's a lot more you can do with your custom built PC. But I know like that there's coming on, they're saying like we're gonna have this premium product, whatever. I'm just telling you, like, I don't know how the suits at Microsoft, when they stand up before them and say this is what we have, and this is what we think we should do, and this is what we think the market looks like, I think they're gonna push back.
Yeah.
Like I really do think they're gonna have. There's gonna be a lot of pushback. I don't think they're gonna be even like, dude. I wouldn't even be surprised if their next gen console is released months after PlayStation 6. Like I'm dead serious. Like don't be surprised if they're behind because like they're like
There's a it's which would be crazy because they're the first ones that said yeah
they
we're working
always
on
are.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, they're
And-
always like the first movers.
dude. So I could see this next console be totally a PS3 scenario where on paper this thing is like super powerful, but then it's so poorly optimized that that it's just like what the heck, dude. Windows updates and then the blue screening and bad network drivers and I don't know, man. It's I mean, I the thing is that Phil was been an Xbox since the beginning, and he thought that Satya was Steve Ballmer, where you can spend all the money as long as you win, right? But now you spend all the money and you're not winning, so now you gotta pay up, and that's what's going on. And that I mean, because we're in the know. We've heard stories about Steve Ballmer and how he operates, right? And we know, we heard the stories from Microsoft and after he retired. So, like, we know how he operates, and that's totally how it was before. But now it's like, no, man, it's like, I don't. Why is Phil still there, bro?
Strange.
He has been such a detriment to the brand. Like, I don't know. And I get it. Like I get it. I get the Don Matrick thing, and I get him being on board and him changing things around allegedly, right? But I was like, oh no, Xbox, like Phil's turning things around. Like clearly he didn't, right? His achievement is Game Pass. Like Game Pass is his achievement. Like he didn't turn the brand around. He modeled the waters now with like an unsustainable platform, and I don't know, bro. And then well, I guess we could segue into the PS6 stuff, because again,
Marcus Cerny.
last week or 2 weeks ago almost, Mark Cerny posted a video, or PlayStation posted a video with Mark Cerny and one of the AMD executives talking about the Project Amethyst, which is going to be the PS6. And they're talking about how, again, they're working together to create this new technology, this pipeline, and this, hardware improvements that you can do more with less, and how this is going to be beneficial for everyone, right? Like there's already people like it's clear, right, that PlayStation, not only PlayStation, like we've heard it from Hideki Kamiya, people from Capcom, like people from other companies are saying it. It's like, hey, you know what? Graphics plateaued. Like we can't get anything better than this. So it doesn't really matter how much power we add. Like we don't have the manpower to be able to produce this type of experiences, like more than what we're doing, right? And that could be accurate. I'm not a developer. I do believe that is like, and I even told, I think I mentioned it to you, right, that I don't think the PS4 to PS5 leap is as big as we think it is because
I agree.
It's because there's two things that make it feel that way, and it's the optimization is a lot better. Like the hardware, the no load times, and faster load times or no load times, or the optimization when it comes to like performance mode and that those sort of things, paired up with the DualSense, which was a real game changer in my opinion. That's what really brought it up to the next level, right? So like Xbox is gonna try and brute force this thing in, and I don't know, bro. So PlayStation AMD working on new tech that's going to be exclusive to the PS6. So the video is very very technical. I'm not going to go over all of it, and Mark Cerny, I could hear him talk for days, and I will not get tired. It's so good. But there seems to be a true collaboration, in AMD and PlayStation, this video that they released was almost a victory lap because this happened in between the whole Xbox stuff, and it was like they know, right? And this is like the shit, like this is how you share games, right? Just like they did it again.
Yeah,
they did it again. Like they did it, clearly whoever's trying to whoever's strategizing at PlayStation knows what's up, and they're doing the right thing. Now let's go to the rumors. So the rumors is that there's going to be two PS6 devices. One is going to be a full table device that you plug into your TV. That's going to be next gen power and whatnot. The other is that there's going to be a handheld that you can dock. That's going to be less powerful. Based on information, based on what sources are saying, as like people are saying out there, I don't know, take it with a grain of salt. They are targeting to be competitive with the handheld's going to be competitive with the Switch 2, and the desktop is going to be will have a lower price on the next Xbox. So it's going to be real interesting whenever this thing gets fully announced. Hopefully we can do a live stream on that when that happens. Like we did with the PS5 during lockdown.
Yeah.
So, man, how do you feel about that? If those rumors are true, how do you feel about the one handheld that is not as powerful, but it plays all the games, and then having a full blown console separate?
No, I like it. I like the versatility. I think it's giving Apple, it's giving Nintendo, it's finding a way to keep me the consumer based upon what we're seeing in the markets. And clearly, like we just talked about Xbox, and I'm trying to get to the handheld market, and probably the price point's going to be key as well. If they're already telling you like a handheld's going to be less powerful than their core product, but still being able to stream the same games, that's what I think you should be doing. I don't think you should be saying your handheld is going to match the exact same experience that you're getting, on your core console. But if I can still play basically everything that I could play on there, like that's good. And there's plenty of people, like depending on who they are and where they are in the world, because we think of just the American market, but like let's look over the worlds that's going to be consuming these products. Like there are plenty of areas where we saw specifically, we talked about the PlayStation Portal, where it did better in certain parts overseas than it did in the States. And that's just because maybe like, culturally, like it's more, a thing where people will, be sitting on, a public transportation or, a school transportation, whatever. And it's more common to be able to be on your handheld device, in your day-to-day life. And that versatility is really valuable. And Nintendo clearly got that right with their Switch being able to do both in one thing, but they're not known for their powerful hardware. They're just known for their overall like experiences that they're selling you and intellectual properties.
Right.
Like PlayStation, I think if they're meeting people by giving them these options, we're fine. They're going to be great. And I think the price point's going to be key for everything, both sides. I also think Obed, like, I seen the rumors talking about, like, is it disk based or is it completely cloud based? There could be something here where if it's completely cloud based and it's not disk, this could be a good thing if you're having both the handheld and the premium.
I think
Because
they
think about
I
it.
heard a confirmation that the console version, like the
Yeah.
handheld is gonna be digital, and then the console version will have a disk drive. That based on what's out there.
which is which is fine. I just think if they make more of a leaning into the digital side, that could be beneficial for the handheld because if you can buy the game once and play it across, if you buy the game once and you play it across both, like technically, and let's because there's going to be that person who says I'm gonna buy both. I'm gonna buy the handheld and I'm gonna buy the core console. Like you're giving people more options, you're gonna see sales be okay. But if you just make it as like, it's more obvious that you're like, well, I should probably just only get the premium product, or I should just get this, then one might suffer more than the other, which would probably be the handheld one, I'd assume. So we'll have to wait and see. This is all pure conjecture. 2028 seems to be the timeline that everyone's assuming for right now, late 2028. So late 2028, early 2029, being that most people start getting their hands on it. We've been predicting that for a while now.
I think
If it's 2029, that's okay.
I think it's gonna be a fall of 2027. Write it down.
Whoa.
Write it down.
Whoa!
Write it
wow.
down. Write it down.
You think Mark's going full speed?
It's gonna be fall 2027. I can see the Xbox. We may see it late next year.
Wow.
But we may and what I mean we may see it could be like a reveal at the Game Awards and the console comes out in like summer of 2027.
Wow.
Yeah. I think Xbox wants to go early because they got to get it out of the way. They got to get it out. They got to get it out. Like they're now moving series consoles. They got to have something that they can move. And they have to. They're gonna rush it, and they're gonna mess it up, as it always happens, dude. As it happened with the Saturn, as it happened with the Dreamcast, it happened with the 360 when they rushed it out because they needed to beat the PS3, and then Red Ring happened. Something's gonna happen. Like I don't want to be the Han Solo, but I got a bad feeling about this.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Dude, I hope that Xbox finds their thing and they're able to at least stay competitive, because they're clearly getting blown out. And Game Pass is not they're not gonna with the price increases and their offerings. Like I think Game Pass already plateaued, dude. So, not counting the people that are unsubscribed, right? Like the Game Pass already plateaued. Like after this is diminishing returns.
Yeah.
And
hard to go back.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to wait and see. But very interesting stuff happening when it comes to gaming. That's basically what we got, sir.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up.
show.
Hopefully next week we can come back with a stream of sorts. We can find
And
some
more positive news too, because this was a little bit of a
Oh
Debbie
my
Downer
God.
outside of probably the PlayStation stuff.
I'm just tired
It
of
was
talking about
tough,
Xbox, guys. It's not me. Like it's not. I'm not being a
it's just what
hater.
it is. It's the news.
It's like exactly. They just keep
if there's good news, we'll report on
every
it.
week. They keep stepping on this rake and just like, and then it's just like they do it every week, and we got to talk about it. Like we talk.
What it is, we gotta be honest.
Like when we did Acolyte, we talked Star Wars for like a month, dude.
We did.
Because like it was what it was, right?
You can't change the news.
Yeah, you can't
change the news.
right? And
It's just
especially
like,
especially when it comes to like gaming, right? But
yeah.
no, hopefully next week If it's not too crazy, we may do a stream. We may play something,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Sounds good.
yeah. So go ahead and wrap it up,
Sounds
sir.
good. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much for staying with us. Make sure you stay tuned, stay subscribed. We're on podcast platforms of your choice: SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon Music. Find us, subscribe to us. You can also go ahead and, subscribe to our show on our YouTube channel. If you're watching live, thank you. If you're watching even later on, thank you so much. No Load Time on YouTube. You can drop a comment, like the video, all the stuff the YouTubers always tell people to do. It just helps support the algorithm, which helps support our show, which helps get us out there even more. So that little bit of action really helps. And then additionally, you can follow us on social media at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time. You can see all the social handles down below if you're watching the video. If you want to support the show financially, you can do so as a Patreon supporter. Patreon.com/No Load Time. That's Patreon.com/No Load Time. You can support the show as little as $1 a month. Literally $1 a month. Shout out to producer Tony. And last but not least, if you have a question, comment, or feedback, you can email us noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. And maybe we'll talk about what you send in on a future episode. But we thank you all for staying with us. Be with y'all next time.
There, guys. Stay safe. We will see you again next time.